Flory Models Daily Show. Here we are on Thursday the 11th of August 2016, and today is traditionally back to normal kit review day. Now, something a little bit special with this, we've actually done a comparison between this one, which is not the Revel 148 as you might think, it's actually the fine molds one. A lot has been said about this kit. There was a lot of excitement, and to be honest, I was one of them, because I was sort of hoping that this kit would come in maybe around about £39, which gives you another option against this, which as far as I'm concerned is the daddy of all model kits, full stop. Okay, because this one down here is the Bandai Lights and Sound and Moving version in 1/48 scale of the T65 X-Wing. We've reviewed this kit. I haven't built it yet, but trust me, it's coming very, very soon. We loved it. Again, it's Bandai. The quality, the design, the way it goes together, and then with the light, sound, and moving action, it was absolutely phenomenal. Steve built this kit and absolutely loved it. This one here that we've reviewed today, though, is the fine molds one, which, as we said in the review, is a little bit older now. It's been around a little while, but what we were sort of hoping, or certainly I was, is that this guy would actually be around about the sort of £40 mark, which gives you another option, because this one down here, as beautiful it is, it's £80. It's a lot of money for a plastic kit, okay, but it's got the moving bits and all the bits and pieces. So when this was released last week, and obviously I had it on pre-orders and various things, and it turned around, it came in at 80 quid, it was like, really? That is unbelievable. That's a lot of money for technically, which is a lesser kit in almost every way to the actual Bandai one. Nevertheless, I ordered it, they've come in. So what we've actually done with this particular review is do pretty much a straightforward review for the first sort of 20 minutes on what this is. So I've built it before, we've done two of them, I do like it, it is a really nice kit. But then we have a look at it side by side with the actual X-Wing from Bandai, and we compare some of the parts, some of the detailing and things like that. And whilst they're both in their own right extremely good kits, I had to be honest, I can't recommend this kit at all. Don't buy the Revel one. Go out and spend the same money, and there is some bargains to be had if you shop around, but have a look at the Bandai one, because you're talking the same money for what is a lesser kit. The detail isn't as there. The build quality, don't get me wrong, in the fine molds one is absolutely fantastic. And as I say, I've built two, and until I saw the Bandai one, I was blown away by it. It's one of the best kits out there. It's absolutely fantastic. The detail goes together extremely well, no problem at all. But when you put it up against the Bandai one, really, you're talking the same money. It's light years ahead. This is brand new. This came out last year, so it's got all the best bits that you'd expect from Bandai. And you don't have to paint it. The colour is pretty much spot on. This is done in this sort of cream yellow plastic, so you're going to need to be painting and detailing it and everything else. But the Bandai one, it's just there. It's got all the bits and pieces. Anyway, go off and have a look. If you haven't seen the Bandai one before, then please go and have a look at that one, because as I say, have a look at both reviews. I have linked it, actually the Star Wars one here from Revel and the Bandai one. Okay, so as you say, you can see each other's review on whichever one you watch. But definitely, I have to say, you know, Revel, you've really missed something here. I thought if you'd brought that out as a £40 kit, I was expecting, let's face it, Revel, I've got another one in front of me, are known for being really good pricing. You know, I've never known Revel to really be that thing of like, oh, that's a lot of money. But unfortunately, because of that saying Disney, that saying Star Wars, and obviously it's fine molds as well, the price is absolutely right up there with what I'm concerned is a far superior kit. So really, as I say, I can't do it. But if you can't get hold of the Bandai one, like we say in the review, it is a worthy other one. But as I said, if that had been 40 quid, I'd have probably bought a few, and perhaps if I was doing a bit of a diorama or a display, far better to go with that one than it does for the actual moving edition, because let's face it, after you've pressed that button for 100 times, making it go up and down and do the lights and sounds, you're never going to touch it again, so it doesn't really need it. But when they're the same price, that is the one to go for. So as I said, it's a review of it that I turn around and say at the end, don't buy it. But I have to be honest, again, you know, we're going to be looking at some other stuff down there. To be honest, tomorrow we have this up, which, let's face it, we know Bandai have got one. And it'd be interesting to see what theirs comes out like, but it's not going to be out for a while, I'm told. So this is still the only option. This is the fine molds Millennium Falcon in 1/72 scale, which, as we know, was going on eBay for around about £400 recently. That's still 250 quid, 275 at full retail. It's a lot of money for something, again, I was hoping that Revel really would have, you know, done a little bit of a thing on it that have said, right, okay, we can make this into a fantastic kit, a good seller for us, but I'm sorry, but at that price point, it's really a no-goer. And again, I think if Bandai, when theirs ever does drop, again, it's going to be a real problem for that one. Anyway, me myself haven't done too much because say we did the review this morning, bit of editing. I've continued to set up and get all the bugs and the query bits and all the rest of it from the actual computer setup. Seems to be running a dream, touching wood. We've had no problems again today. And then this afternoon we had Ian, one of the members, here with me as well. Lovely to meet Ian, terrific guy. It was great to have you here for a couple of hours, mate, and have a chat and catch up and everything else like that. Anyway, tomorrow you're going to get the Millennium Falcon review. I have got these other bits to review, and I've got some other stuff coming in tomorrow which I'll be reviewing as well. So reviews are going to be stacking up nicely. To be honest, with this guy down here, I wasn't happy, and as you can see, I have sanded and redone. It's amazing, isn't it, when you put glue down using World Action glues? It is the shortcoming of it. I left this, and when I left it on Friday, it was absolutely fine, but I came back, to be honest, and looked at it yesterday, and I could see sink marks that have appeared in the plastic. Again, when you build really quickly, it can come back and bite you. Caught it though, because I've actually refilled, sanded, and we've done this bit around here because I wasn't completely happy with it. So what I'm going to do, get another coat of paint on this down the bottom, and then hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to push on with this quite a bit and make our way through. Hopefully by tomorrow we should have the wings will be painted, maybe not as far as the mottling, but that'll be something I want to show you in depth, in detail, exactly how I tackle mottling work, which is pretty much like anybody else does it. I'm not going to use the templates, it's too big, but we're going to show you, as well as using templates, or me with freehand, and how I set up my airbrush and how I'll go about doing mottling. Because as I say, it's not as straightforward as just putting paint down with mottling. You need it to blend, but also with mottling there's a scale effect, where if you use templates, I think you don't get the scale effect particularly well. So what I'm trying to do is show you this one, different ways that may work better for you, might not work as well for you, but it'll give you a couple of options. If you are thinking about doing sort of, you know, mottling techniques on aircraft, things like that, it will give you a different way to go. So anyway, but that'll probably be next week now, maybe on Monday that one will be up with you. So there we go, that's a bit it from today. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for all the feedback on the cars and all the bits and pieces. You guys are really interested in it. I took hundreds of photos of various bits and pieces, and what I'll do is I will put them up on the forum so you can have a look on there. But as I say, I took a couple of hundred photos, so I'll whittle them down tonight maybe, and then I'll get them up on the forum so you can have a look. So as I say, some really nice classic cars. Loads of you mentioned Brooklands, you never knew it. Trust me, it is well worth having a look. It's one of those museums where it's tucked away a bit because you've got McLaren on one side, you've got Mercedes on the other side, and you've got Brooklands Museum all in the old circuit. It's well worth going and having a look. Again, it's one of those things where it's a great day out because you've got everything. So if you're a car, racing car, it's sort of the mecca. It was the first ever Grand Prix circuit ever built, and that's there. It's got the raised embankment, still pretty much around most of it, well, until you get to Tesco's and everything else like that. So it's all there. So it's really a historical thing. It goes from, as you saw in those photos last night, of being really oldie-worldy stuff up right the way through to some of the rig things like the Napier engine car. That's unbelievable, that thing. And everything else. So you got some great things right up to very modern. So you got the F1 cars there as well, and bits and pieces. And then you make your way off. A couple of things I didn't show you. Got the bus exhibition. You guys are into like London Transport, you know, the double-decker buses, the Route Masters, things like that. That's got to be your mecca because they're all there. I never knew there was that many around, but it's got all the different stages and things. So they've got that part of the museum. Obviously the aircraft restoration as well. So in there they're actually working to get airworthy again. The Hurricane. That's what you saw a couple of photos from there. I say I'll put a lot more of that up. And obviously you've got the Wellington, and they're planning on building the new section where the Wellington's going to be housed, and they're going to do a few things. But you've got in there as well, there's a Harrier, Sea Harrier down in there, two-seater. You've got various things like Hunters. They're working on, you name it, it's there. There's lots of different stuff. Plus the fact you've got Concorde, the VC-10, which was the Sultan of Oman's one. Very posh inside, I must admit, extremely posh, and everything else. So you've got some great aircraft down there, and pretty much all of the classic British aircraft that were manufactured there. Because don't forget, Brooklands as well made the tail section. I think it was the nose section as well for Concorde. All the Concordes that were built actually came out of Brooklands as well. So say it's one of those museums, I think it gets very much overlooked, but once you're there, there's tons to see and do, and it's well worth a day out, definitely. So there we go, that's it from me. I'll catch you all tomorrow.